All right, we are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hey, if you are tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you have any questions or if there's any assets you want me to analyze, definitely feel free to throw them either in the chat or you can private message me as well. And I can even get you in on our private community where we actually go through trades together. And you can see exactly what my wallets are doing and how I'm progressing. So today is the day before election. I think it's going to be a rather interesting charade. And of course, if you follow me for any length of time, you'll know that I don't have any particular care whether or not one politician or the other wins. I figure that if you need a specific ass to sit on the throne, then you are in order for you to be free, then you are definitely on an animal farm. And it's not my opinion on whether or not the government should be dissolved in that kind of situation. It's actually how the law is fulfilled. So what we're going to be watching tomorrow is going to be the light show for everybody to pay attention to, the distraction, while everything that is most important happens in the background. Of course, people are oblivious to it. And so they're going to miss out on these opportunities. And it's true. Like, people who are not following these market analysis are going to regret later on, because all of these are, they're going live and they're staying up on YouTube and on Twitter or on X. And people are going to be able to see. They're going to go look back in the past and they're going to see how accurate we were and just what we were able to accomplish with our humble beginnings. And they're going to regret not being a part of this. They're going to regret paying attention to the distractions like elections and even distractions like the immigration crisis. Like, folks, the immigration crisis, that started in 2016. It's ridiculous to say that now you have an immigration crisis. No, we told you you had an immigration crisis in 2016 and nothing got done about it. In fact, people voted for more of it. So yeah, it's a distraction at this point. You're not paying attention. If you're paying attention to anything that is even in the alternative media today, you are distracted. There are way more important things to be doing than biting your fingernails over who is going to be sitting on the animal farm's throne after tomorrow. So let's analyze what's going on in the markets so we can identify opportunities and let's establish some self-governance with our own individual economics, and we don't have to worry about who is sitting on that throne.
Woohoo!
Yeehaw! All right, so silver here, we have the silver chart. We are definitely pulled back there. On last week, what we were talking about was how this retracement was nice and deep. Thursday, I wasn't even sure. It was up here when we did our market analysis, and I wasn't sure whether or not that was deep enough. And sure enough, by the end of the day, and then on Friday, we retraced nice and deeply, and now we found support off of this 32.3 line, and we seem to be heading back up in a bullish formation. If we go to the 15-minute chart, we can see that pickup here is just accumulating right now. We've got the market opening up here, so we'll probably see this whiplash around for the rest of the day until the election tomorrow. After the election comes in, of course, that's when everybody's going to move their money to where it needs to be. And honestly, the smart money is going to put it where the money is going to grow, and their investments are going to pay off. And right now, precious metals, out of all of the commodities that are in, other than emerging markets, precious metals are the greatest safe houses that you can possibly have against inflation. And we all know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins the election. The inflation is going to be skyrocketing throughout 2025. Now, as a result, we can expect precious metals to really start to shine and even correct their value. Because they're artificially suppressed to these levels. So once that suppression is done, we'll start to see the price of gold and silver actually reflect its true value. So here, yeah, silver is ready to go. It's found its support off of that previous resistance and likely to bounce up. I want to see it actually go over top of that all-time high. That's going to be a momentous occasion. Similar to gold, forming new highs all the time. Right now, in a little retracement, very miniature retracement. But given the fact that gold is definitely one of the greater barometers on the health of the currency, I'm going to say that if it drops down, it probably will find support again on 2710 area where it did last time before it takes off and forms new highs again. But that being said, with the election being already tomorrow, this might be all the retracement that we get. It's on it, then it's going to go crazy. There are some people that I talk to. They talk about a $60,000 ounce of gold that they can calculate coming. TSX, this is the Toronto Stock Exchange, formed a brand new high, all-time high on October 21st, has been retracing since then. Looks like it's found support off of this resistance at 24,175. Could very well continue to go up. It really depends on how much the Canadian government is going to be given liberty at printing. And given the fact that they are quite over-leveraged as it is with all of their debt, not as much as the States, but given how much they have over-leveraged and how much their economy is tied in with the States, I wouldn't imagine it performing very well in the long term. US 30, we're definitely far into a retracement. Looks like we formed a new low, in fact. Yeah, this low here on Thursday definitely beat out the previous low. And so that's an indication of a reversal. Don't have confirmation of it yet. We'll see what happens with today's candle. If it ends up being super bearish, you know, this could very well start the cascade effect of a crash. Again, election might actually be one of the trigger points, one of the many trigger points. Again, I don't think it would be legitimately a trigger point, but they would probably like to use it as that to explain out. You know, we gotta come up with a reason why all of the financial markets crash, and it definitely won't be because it's controlled or orchestrated. No, it'll have to be blamed on something, and so. You know, election is a great thing. You know, a lot of people think that the election has a lot of importance, and so they like to play on that. 2024 election line here, starting up. Yeah, no. Oh, it says the 4th of November already here, but this chart isn't showing what is going on here. Oh, there we go. I wasn't on the daily chart. That was going on. So yeah, Bitcoin here after this almost touching the all-time high. It is, oh, let's actually get that all-time high on the chart right there. And all-time high. So that all-time high is now the big target. Once we get over top of that, I don't think there's any coming back. In fact, historically, whenever there has been an election, as I was talking about there last week, every election, here is the line where the 2020 election started. The price never came back. You know, if we go back further, here's the 2016 election. The price never came back. And even in the first few months, you know, huge growths. This is, what is this here? I think this is going till April. Yeah, end of April, May. And so, you know, that's 6 months, 7 months of price action that goes up 313%. The first time it happened in 2012, well, there's another time too, but my data doesn't go back that far on this chart, but 2012 went up 2,300%. So this first little bit, this first shoot that we get out of the gate is going to be rather abrupt. There's going to be a retracement, just like we see, you know, here at the 2020 election, went up, had a retracement. That pattern is very, very, very similar to what we had here. Went up, had a massive retracement. Right after that, you know, here it went up, a little smaller of a retracement. Came down to, yeah, it came down to that 61.8 level, which is good enough for a retracement. You know, and so, yeah, here the retracement was at 38.2. So this ratio here of pullback is significant. So this time here, when it takes off, you'll be wanting to follow along. And the reason why is because I'm going to snipe the top, basically. I'm going to make sure that I get out before the other side of this AI bubble. Just like we had a dot-com bubble that popped, it's going to happen again, this time with AI. And so this whole next 6 months, you're going to want to pay very, very close attention. If it's not to me, find somebody that you'll like, because you're going to want to know. You're going to want to know. The more that you know about how this plays out, the more you'll be able to profit. So I fully expect $150,000 Bitcoin within 2025, within the year 2025. There are people that I follow that say it's going to be 200,000. Doesn't really matter. I don't really care that much. Bitcoin is definitely an old faithful, definitely one of the earlier iterations of the technology that definitely provided tons of, a very strong foundation for a lot of the blockchain ecosystem that we experience today. And so it's not going to go anywhere. I don't believe that it's really going to go anywhere anytime soon. But we have to recognize it for what it is. And it is simply a benchmark that is being used by the financial community, the greater worldwide financial community, as kind of a gold standard. And so we're following it. I don't deal with it. It's just too cumbersome for my liking. And the fees are incredibly high. It costs $40,000 to mine one Bitcoin. $40,000 in electricity, just electricity. There are coins and ecosystems out there that do not consume so much electricity. In fact, the Cardano network using ADA, those transactions use 10,000 times less electricity than Bitcoin. And it's simply because the evolution of the technology is such that we don't rely on simple and, quite honestly, early iterations of proof of work. We have far more width and breadth of options available to us now. And so, yeah, that's why I'm not that interested in what it does, because I'm not here for the price. I'm here for the function. I'm here for what blockchain can do for you and me to safeguard our wealth from globalists who just want to take everything and make you be happy with nothing. I show people how to take their wealth and actually already secure it behind private foreign trusts, and that are self-managed, by the way, that you take care of yourself, that you don't need another mediator, you don't need another lawyer, you don't need a wealth manager, you don't need some special bank. Like this, the blockchain is by far the greatest innovation that we've come together to create in order to safeguard our wealth for the future, especially from the corrupt banking institutions that do nothing but take away your wealth through policies and inflation. So we don't need any of that. We can start over and build our own nation and all the rest. And this is the foundation. This is the foundation. Knowing and identifying where these opportunities are, taking them, and then passing that on to your communities. So definitely you're going to want to pay attention. I've got these marked out here. I'm going to go ahead and just bring these out. I've got two predictions. It could very well go as high as 217,000. That would be in line with the graduated growths that we've seen over the years. And that's just coming from, these ratios that I have lined up on here. This is what has happened in the past. So these ratios, let's just zoom out properly here. So these ratios, after that impulse, and they see the retracement, we typically see it go 2, 3, and 4 times higher than that first impulse. And that is a very, very common pattern. Here, it all happened within a period of a year. That extension. Here, it took a little bit longer. A year and a month. This time here, and I think it's just because of the last 4 years have been quite tumultuous especially with war, decimation of life. We had, the experimental bioweapon that got injected into tons of people's bloodstreams that has contributed to excess deaths at unprecedented rates, totally off of the statistics scales, so far off the statistics scales that it is impossible for it to be anything but deliberate. And so as a result, I think that that's why we didn't experience that same extension over that period of time. But to follow that extension, I believe will still complete, that it will still reach up to that point. And so that's a 214% increase from where we are at this time. That's my loose prediction. It is high octane speculation. I am pulling from several different sources to come up with this. And then of course, my own background in trading and technical analysis. Ethereum. Ah, yes. Ethereum, I still don't really know how else to describe what I'm seeing here. I was saying, you might sell. I was saying this last week. You might sell now and then come back in when it bounces off the bottom line. Well, look at what's going on. It's bouncing off that bottom line. Looks like it might find support here at this 24.4 level, 24.20, somewhere in there. And I would not be surprised if we have one pullback over here first. But now, at the same time, election day is already tomorrow. And so we might not see these prices ever again. On to ADA. We're right now at the low end of this accumulation zone here. As you can see, we've bounced off of this trend line and had a nice bullish few days here over the weekend. All of cryptos really saw this whole thing over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so, yeah, here we are now just hanging out below this pivot zone. We'll likely find some support here soon, hopefully. If not, I mean, whatever. Might come back down to 30 cents before we take off. But again, elections tomorrow. So anything's possible. For me to confirm that this is definitely in a bull run, we would need to see a leg up over top of that trend line and a good push to beat out this high that we formed on September 27th. That's when I will say, okay, now we're definitely shooting for that next point of resistance, which would likely be 52 cents. From there, that all-time high is going to be the big target. Once we reach, or that 2024 all-time high. Once we get above that, then it'll be smooth sailing beyond $1 and so on. So right now, really good spot to be buying anything. Like, look at XRP. It's still hanging out below this range here. This is that common range, that channel where the price just seems to like to hang out. Shoots out every once in a while, it comes right back in. So I've marked that channel down. We are now currently below that price action has gone down. And so right now hanging out at 50.8 cents US. XRP is looking like it's found some support here with a double bottom, but we'll see how things close out today and then again tomorrow after the election. But this here, this right there, that's good support. Double bottom like that is a good support for a movement up. We don't, it can definitely bop underneath like we've had it here. Back in June, it popped underneath and even had a nice big dive down to 38 cents. That could happen, but just the fact that we're so close to election, I think we're pretty much done and we're going to see this start to come up. Modic. Again, like with all other cryptocurrencies this week, came on sale this weekend. So if you didn't get any, it would be a good time now, because here, remember I was saying, like, if it does go down, it could very well hit this next level of support, this next price level here, 29 cents. It was hanging out, between 30 and 33 cents for about a week, and now it's dipped back down. Now it's definitely at 29.2 is the lowest that it got. And so we'll likely see, is that right? 29.3 is the lowest that it got that day. And so here we might be at support, might go down even lower, but I don't think so. This is the lowest that I have data on since March 21. So this is the lowest it's been. This is at a 4-year low, folks. It's on sale. Really, really good position. Yeah, this is tempting because I kind of know, I'm pretty certain that a lot of these, I'm pretty certain a lot of these coins like Polygon, XRP, ADA, Ethereum, even Solana, they're going to be the first ones to get kind of a pulse, and then it'll be the next layer of coins that appreciate some of these, some of the liquidity that's coming into these chains. And so, yeah, right now, really good spot. Like I've already got a good spot here with a 679% projected profit, taking my position back to the all-time high. But right now, if you do it here, now instead of that much, now you're looking at 888%. That's a magic number right there. Probably a sign that you should buy if it's 888% return. What's 3/8 mean in esoterics? Someone want to comment? Let me know, because I don't really know much about that stuff, but 3/8 sounds like a good deal. So here we are onto Solana. Solana is, oh, look at that. Solana experienced the same downturn, same type of downturn that we saw over the last few days, but it's now sitting at the bottom of this pivot zone. Look at that. So as you can see, that pivot zone rests on top of a lot of price action. Right here. Oh, do I have my Ripple on? Yeah. Okay. So right there, that's where it was having a lot of resistance. Right here, right there. Oh, and even over here, that's also resistance as well. So with all of the resistance that was at that level, this pivot zone here is really showing where there's a lot of accumulation coming into the market. So right now, this price point here, likely to find support off of that line because that was such heavy resistance in the past. I would like to see, oh yeah, what's
888 means triple fortune.
Triple fortune. That doesn't surprise me. You can't go right now, folks. It is you know when to leave when everybody on the street starts talking about the asset that you're buying, that you have. Okay, so with these Bitcoins, Ethereum, Polygon, rather, Ripple, all of these different ones, when you're walking up and down the street and it's the high school kids that are talking about getting cryptos, that's when you know it's time to sell. Okay. So the triple fortune is on its way, and it's just a matter of knowing when to get out. That's all it is. This is going to be a bubble. It'll make many, many people, many, many millions of dollars with $1,000. It's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be difficult to do. You simply need to be paying attention and you can accomplish it. So yeah, 888s makes sense. Solana here is definitely, I would say, definitely finding support at that level, ready to go up. I would want to see it get up above this high that we formed on July 29th before I say, oh yeah, now we're actually shooting for that all-time high. Still, at this point, it's coming. It's just not there yet. I love the fact that now I can look at the sun out my window in the mornings. All right. Oh, and now my background is fading out. Okay, let's just close it so that my my hand can guide us along these charts. All right, TRX, Tron, beautifully moving along. Look at how consistent this is throughout past. And then here, you know what? Even after this volatility, it's now really gone into the micro. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart just so you can see. Look at that. Look at how consistent it's been following, going back and forth on this line, on this line over the last little while. Just hanging out, following that line. Below it, it'll likely continue. It'll likely continue this. However, with the election, we can expect some volatility as that injection of liquidity comes into this ecosystem. Injective token, beautifully, beautifully falling down. On sale yet again. Bouncing off of that long-term trend line right there. This is amazing. Yep. Great asset. Look now, $16. Folks, when I got started with this back in June, I have a position still open at $25. So right now that price is 35% off. You'd make more money than me if you did that. That'd be fun. I did add another position on September 6th at the $16 level, basically where we are right now, just a little bit low, just a little bit lower. And I'm thinking about adding more. You know, it's just a matter of timing, folks. And the timing on this particular asset is really good. The reason I like injective tokens so much is because of its commitment to see interoperability come to the blockchain ecosystem. All of the chains right now, there's still a lot of I don't want to say tension, but still this old mindset, kind of like, oh, which is the best stock right now, or which is the best currency right now, or you know, what is the best, what's the best options that I have for making money over the next, or you know, or for this great reset. You know, what's the best coin going to be? That mindset is really starting to disappear at that innovators level. And the innovators are recognizing, no, what we've unleashed here is a beast that is literally taking over the old models of financial institutions, simply because it creates an environment where everyone is now self-governing over their finances. Well, if everyone's self-governing over their finances and one guy picks one coin, another guy picks another coin, they want to do business together, they should be able to do business together without having to argue over which coin needs to be used in that exchange. It's just, it doesn't make any sense for us to have that, especially with how unilateral blockchain can be. I mean, even if you just use a decentralized exchange like Change Now, for example, great platform, allows you to take any coin and send it to someone else, and it shows up in their as their coin in their wallet without anybody ever having to worry about it. Well, that interoperability is becoming more and more streamlined all the time, especially with the way that smart contracts are working. So this ecosystem, and injective token is one of them, Cardano, ADA is another one, their focus being on that interoperability is ushering in this a whole new way of conducting business with each other. It's allowing access for people to do business across borders that, you know, whether they're national borders or jurisdictional borders or fictitious borders, which most of them are. Those borders mean nothing now. They don't mean anything. The world is multinodal, polycentric, decentralized, and these coins here are paving the way for that type of unity to be experienced between people who are doing business. So, found support off of, looks like we found support off of that trend line, likely to bounce off of this, especially with the election. However, be aware of the fact that we may still dip down and find support at this $14 level here. Now, so if that occurs and you end up buying, that's okay. Buy some more down here, because that lowers the average cost of your entire position, so that when you have this kind of growth, where is my ruler? There it is. When you have this kind of growth and you experience a 241%, just coming back to the all-time high, that feels good. That feels good. And it feels a lot better than the mere, what is this one here? My first position that I took in June at $25. You know, that's just over 100%. So, you know, coming in at $16 gives you 200%. It's on sale, folks. Go for it. You will not regret that. 3 protocol. I like this chart just for how much it whiplashes back and forth every single day. Like you could literally just be like, ah, you know what? I'm gonna buy today, and then tomorrow you'll make money because of how much it's whiplashing back and forth. You could sell it the next day and then make more money, buy it the next day. You could do that all in a day. Look at, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see. This is the 4-hour chart. So every 4 hours creates another bar of price action. You can buy here, right? Comes in, yeah. Well, if it goes up, if it's hanging out above the average, like look at where all of the lines are. That's the average, right? So if it's deviating from the average right now, it's kind of in the average right now, so you might not. But it's also at the lower end of these two bars that had some long wicks. So, you know, I would like right now, if it was me, I would wait until I see a movement down here and I would buy. And then I would wait to see a movement coming back up over the average and then sell. That's what I would do here. And you'd be doing it every single day. You'd be busy. But look at this. If you saw this here, yeah, so if you're following this and then you see this big dip here, just go ahead and buy, right? Just buy it. Why? Because you're deviating from the average so far. And so it reverses and comes back up, and you wait until it goes past the average and you make 34% in 16 hours. And then when it comes back again, you take that money and you're like, oh, look, I went down below the average again 16 hours later. I'm going to buy. And then you go until it goes above the average. Look at that, 22%. And you just bounce back and forth between the two. You just set your plan, be like, this is how I'm doing it. I'm gonna say I want 20% every single time. And so every time you see that 20% change, you just change your position. You could literally live off of doing that if you have you know a good enough balance. And especially if you want to practice trading, it's a great way to get started. It's a great way to get started. Just watch this. You don't even have to put real money in. Just watch it and then put a mark on the here. Where's the up arrow? There it is. So, you know, put an arrow wherever you think you need to place a position. And then check your work after the market is done. Just put an arrow wherever you think it needs to go. That's how you can practice. That's how I practiced for like a year before I even used real money. 3 protocol, because of its nature, following this zigzag pattern as it goes down the line, tells me that there's a lot of action happening right now between the buyers and the sellers. The buyers are happy to do the strategy that I'm sharing with you. They're happy to buy, make some quick 20%, 30% in a matter of 16 hours, and then find it on the other side. A lot of people are doing that right now with this asset. So there's accumulation occurring. Because every time that smart money sells, they take their position and they're taking that money and then buying it at a lower price, which means they're buying more volume every single time. So this is poising to skyrocket. Again, I think it'll happen after you know, the big influx of liquidity comes into the ecosystem, and then it'll start dispersing into the altcoins. And so 3 protocol, no exception, will probably, you know, lag maybe about a week after Bitcoin and Ethereum. But at the same time, shoot, people are getting fast at this. Woo is definitely followed suit with the rest of the ecosystem. It looks like a breakout out of that pattern, even a bearish breakout under normal conditions. But because we are here at the onset of the Great Reset, it looks to me like they found this particular asset found support at 15 cents. Great place to get started because that all-time high is way up here at 88 cents. And so look at that, 88 again. So then there you have, there's 3 4s between here and 80. What's going on with the numbers today? Look at that, eh? You take this price here from 16 and you ride it to 88 cents and you'll make 444%. Tau, deeper retracement, yet still now pulling down below this this pivot point. Beautiful position. $426 right now, expected to be over 5 grand over the next year and a half. So definitely a good asset to grab onto and hold for the long term. Even though it's a high priced coin, you can still make lots of money. You're just going to buy fractions of it. If, you know, say for instance, you say, oh, I've only got $100. Well, I recommend that you don't make any move under $200 because otherwise the fees just eat up so much of your profits.
444.
Oh, what's 444?
Stability, consistency, productivity.
Nice. Nice. Ha. So yeah, BitTensor here looks like it's found, look at that. In the past, this has been a place of resistance and support. So we're here again, likely finding support. Might still dip down. It would be actually kind of nice to see it dip down to 360, but election's already tomorrow. So if it were to happen, that would be a godsend, definitely going on sale. And you'd go a long ways there. Because, you know, if it's supposed to go up to 5 grand, $5,000 from 365, that's 1,200%. I can't stress this enough, folks. You're never going to see an opportunity like this again. There are lots of opportunities that hit across our paths throughout our life. We always have opportunities hitting our paths. That's what happens. We get opportunities all the time. The problem that people have when they get an opportunity that looks too good to be true, they believe it. You know, you have to start thinking, you have to start projecting in your mind an image of yourself in the future and deliberately do it in such a way where you're the hero. If you can do that, opportunities like this, when they show up, you don't pass them up. And it's not because you're special that you make all kinds of money. No, it's because you had an image in your mind of what it is that you wanted to accomplish with your life, and you started taking actions that are then in accordance with that vision. The opportunities that we have before us here today, as a result of this beautiful technology, will set people up for life. They will be able to take small pittance, you know, under $5,000. They could even take less than $1,000. And if they apply themselves and diligent 444, consistency, discipline, if you apply those principles to the next 3 months of your life, you can take $200 and turn it into $100,000. Because it's not just this that's going to happen, okay? This is going to happen over the next 3-4 months, and then there's going to be another huge influx. There will be a great big pull up, there is a great big movement, and then there's going to be a dip. And then it's in that dip, I'll be taking a bunch of profits on that first impulse. The dip will occur, and I'll be accumulating more volume for the next run up. Remember, there's that retracement shortly after the big run. So the run happens, then there's a retracement, and then it runs again. I'm going to catch the run, and I'm going to sell at the top of that a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to buy again and reaccumulate for the second run. And by doing that, and you do it properly, you do it in sequence, you follow your plan. Once you create your trade plan, you follow it to a T. You will experience life-changing money with $200. Again, so you need to be paying attention. And so tune in. My market analysis is every morning, 7:15 Mountain Time, and you can ask me questions. Like the comment stream, you can go into your comments and just go ahead and comment. I'll see it on my dashboard and ask questions, because we're in this. This is something we're in together with. I can assure you. BitTensor is providing a lot of infrastructure for big data companies like Google, and so they're this is going to be something that supports the movement of this bubble. Desync, not to be contrary to the rest of the ecosystem, has also taken a downturn over the last 3 days. It is below that trend line, definitely showing signs of support at this level here. You know, we're seeing a lot of action in this area right now. It's sitting at $14.8 cents. You know, it basically touched that entry point that I took on October 10th. Touched that now. You know, it might go down a little bit lower. And if I can tell you right now, if it goes below 13 cents, definitely coming in to add to my position. Already my position is quite healthy. I've got 3 progressively getting lower in price every single time. The reason why I'm so interested in this particular asset is because of its commitment to provide hosting. When you have a gold rush, you always want to make sure that instead of trying to find the gold and striking and relying on being lucky to strike it rich, it is a good idea to be the one that sells pickaxes and shovels, the tools needed for all of the people who are going into the gold rush. If you're providing the tools for the people, you will for sure make more money on average. You will make more money doing that, because not everybody actually strikes gold, but everybody that's mining gold needs pickaxes and shovels. Well, Destra is providing the pickaxes and the shovels for the AI bubble. Okay? After the bubble is done, these guys will still be around. Why? Because the infrastructure will still be needed. AI is going to prove to be an overpromised and underdelivered asset. It already is. It's just the world hasn't caught up with that yet, and so there's a great deal of money to be made, because this will be a bubble. And it will be used deliberately to take money from people who are not smart by the people who are trying to take over the world. We're simply riding that wave to make sure that when they do take over the world, we can be left alone. Because that's really what everyone's... It's Rick and Morty. There's a line in there where Rick says, you know, someone's always trying to take over the world. The trick to a happy life is just to be left alone by those who succeed. So yeah, that's really what we're doing here. We're taking advantage of the opportunity. I'm creating pathways for my wealth to come out of this ecosystem and into my own private trust, so that it doesn't matter what these prices do. It doesn't matter what the World Economic Forum ends up marketing to the local politicians. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the UN decides to do. I'm good. I'm good. My wealth is secure. My wealth is safe. I know how to do that. If you want to learn about that, definitely hit me up. I'd be more than happy to teach you. And it's just a free call. Just hit me up. I'll show you how to get started, and you can go along your way. And if you want to work with me, great, awesome. We could talk about that, but just get started, folks. Like you are literally being handed to you on a silver platter, a beautiful opportunity. You should probably take it. You're going to look kind of ridiculous if you don't. This channel here, downward channel, is now being retested by zero by zero. And this is great. This is awesome. I love the fact that the price is going down. Sitting right now at a place of previous support at 9.3 cents. Right now sitting 9.2. Great place to add some more to your position. I added at just above this at 10.7 cents. I added a position here. And so I don't know that I will add more, but oh my goodness, if you do, you'll make more money than me. That's for sure. Because right now my average price between the two positions that I do hold is sitting somewhere around 13 cents. And so when it reaches its all-time high, I'll appreciate a 296% return. But if you're coming in right now, you're going to make more than me with a 487% return from this price point here just to get back to the all-time high. And that's not my target. My target is $1 on this one. Same with desync. Desync will likely be $1 before the end of, before spring. Before spring. 0 by 0, same idea. Likely be $1 before spring. That's a 10x from where we are right now. ARC. ARC. Oh, you are another beautiful chart. So ARC, this long-term trend line got broken out there earlier. It is now being hovering around. Finding actually that this pivot point is providing some resistance right now. But over the next couple of days, we'll start to see more, I believe we'll start to see some more action. This retest here, if you take a look at my squiggly line here, I said I think it'll go up and find some resistance here and then come back down to retest this level. Well, it happened a lot faster than what I drew out. I drew out something that occurred over, 2 weeks. It happened in 3 days and has already come back and retested it. So if I were to take this line and make it, I don't know if I can. Well, yeah, basically that's what happened. I just moved the line over here so you can see what I said was going to happen has now happened. Here, we've found this support here and likely to continue moving up. Now, again, it might come down. It might come down a little bit longer. ARC is definitely an altcoin. It's not one of the main chains. And so it will see its rise in price a little bit after the Bitcoins and Ethereums and so on and so forth. Because as people come on board, they're not going to know about ARC, right? We're going to be seeing, this is a bubble. And they got to take as much money from these people as possible. So when people come in, they're going to be marketed to all of these opportunities. And the opportunities to really leverage your wealth in this is going to be found in these altcoins. But it's that first bubble of people, that first influx of people coming into the ecosystem that's going to give a spurt to the price. We'll see Bitcoin probably form an all-time high this week. Same thing with Ethereum. I think it'll take a little bit longer for Ethereum possibly, but those all-time highs are going to happen with those layer 1 coins fairly quickly. Same thing with Cardano. These ones are going to show up a little bit later because it takes time for people to make a choice. Okay, I've got some Bitcoin and Ethereum. I picked up some Polygon because my friend told me to. It was a great idea. Now what? Well, in those exchanges where they made those purchases, they were going to be marketed these kinds of opportunities. And that's when we're going to start seeing that money move into other assets such as 0 by 0, ARC, Destra, even Tau, BitTensor. All of these secondary layer 2 coins or these altcoins are going to be receiving that influx a little bit later. So this could go down. It could go down and even find support at 1.2 cents. I would not have a problem with that. I would definitely add to that position there. As it stands already, the position that I took here on September 24th is targeted at a 391% return. And then I added to the position a little bit later when the price was lower so I could bring down my average cost so that I can get closer to a 500% return on this particular asset. Link, another nice project that's private AI that I value privacy, and I think that AI is definitely, while it's overrated, it is definitely still underrated in many ways because people don't know how to use it. Once they know how to use it, they can start leveraging it to accomplish a lot of their tasks that they do spending time in front of these screens. And the more that we learn how to get AI to do that labor, the less time we spend in front of our screens and the more healthy we become. So I like AI, and I especially like it when it's private. So Link AI, using blockchain, is building private AI solutions for their customers, and this is a good price. Like, look at how well the price has done at this level. 10.9 cents right now. Oh, sorry, 11.1 cents at the moment, with a low of 10.9 today. And we'll likely, we'll likely see this. We'll likely see this bounce around here for another couple of days. It might come down and even test the 9.6 cent level, which was a low back in June, before we take off. But that's a great project. It's a great project. DEAI 01 Labs. This one here is a newer one on the block, a newer kid on the block, so to speak. So it doesn't have the same pump and dump feel that a lot of the other ecosystems experienced over the last few years, simply because these guys, they developed in other capacities and then started this company very recently. And so we're seeing this price action show a lot more stability instead of the pump and dump scenario that typically, good things happen for a lot of people, but it's a zero-sum game. So if there's a winner, there's a loser as well. And so here, what's nice to see about this is that it wasn't being used as a pump and dump avenue. What they do is that they start these projects off, they pump up the hype right away, make tons of money, and then what happens is that the founders that made all the money, they end up finding out that what they were working on is now 6 months old, and they need to start over with another brand. And so we see that kind of thing happen lots. The fact that 01 Labs has got this strong price action coming out of the gate is indicating to me that these guys are definitely going to be doing well over the next few months. FAR. This one here is a video gaming token, and so I'm really big into that. If you've been following me for any period of time, you know that I'm interested in the gaming industry, video gaming industry. Not so much as a gamer. I do my best not to spend a whole. I love it. I love playing games, but we're not supposed to spend so much time in front of the screens. I would want to use it as a means to help educate people in how to approach life like it's a game, and they can optimize their character as best as possible to make it through and to win, and so on and so forth. Well, that principle is something that we're coming to know about reality is actually very true. We do literally live in a simulation, and we are very much generating the images of this simulation with our own mind's eye based off of the beliefs that we form throughout our entire existence. Those beliefs are what generate the images that we interpret as the world around us. This isn't something that is even an opinion. It was tossed around and theorized for about 100 years, but over the last 10 years especially, they've made leaps and bounds in the discovery and improving how much we live in a simulation. And so the video gaming world is actually leading the way in this realm of education. In fact, I believe that the education models of the future are going to end up being more like video games, because it's a great way for people to see an immediate feedback on the decisions that they make with their character. So FAR is definitely going to go far in this realm, in being able to provide liquidity for developers who wish to create games specifically for this type of education, to help people see that life is actually a video game and this is how you can win it. Of course, the big spoiler is that we find out that the best way to win the game is to stop playing it. But we got to get to that point. We got to get them to wrap the game, so to speak. Sundog. Oh my gosh. Sundog, I feel so bad about this one. I got this one on September 24th, and already now it's down 68%. I'm not too discouraged. This is a good community. They're pretty active. They got good communication between its members, engaging community. So I'm not too concerned. It is definitely, I got too excited way too soon. I put 2 positions in here, in fact. So I'm probably, between the 2 of them, I'm probably down closer to, yeah, 50% or so. But it's a meme, and I didn't do much. You know, don't risk much on memes, guys. They're just memes. They're fun. Bonk, same idea here. Big drop since I purchased, but you know, it's still within its parameters. I'm not too concerned about it. These memes, you know, they are what they are. But I've got 3 good ones here. Three that have good communication within their communities. They're vibrant. Yeah, and they're actually working towards something, folks. They're not just, you know, a bunch of people. They are a bunch of people just sharing memes, but it's the community and camaraderie that's being created that encourages that liquidity to come in. And so with Bonk here, it's come out, broken out below this pennant, but doesn't really mean much. It really doesn't mean much. It's a meme coin. All-time high is here at this 4 zeros and a 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 zeros and a 4. So between here and there, where we are right now, that's 166%. In crypto, that doesn't mean much. That doesn't really mean much at all. That could happen in a day, for crying out loud. NPC also had a little bit of a downturn with the rest of crypto over the last couple days. No problem though, because the support that we found here, or rather the resistance that we experienced here, has been providing support since that time. And so here at the 2.5 cent level, it's a comfortable spot to grab. I've got a nice position. I've got 2 nice positions. The first time I got was back on July 3rd, and I'm definitely up. How much from there? I'm up 55% on that one. And then the second position that I got was over here. And this is the 7th of September. And on that position there, I am up. On that position there, I am up 77%. So between the 2 of them, I'm sitting pretty. That it's not over yet. This one is also expected to reach, well, no, I shouldn't say also expected to reach $1. Some people say that, but I always take that with a grain of salt, especially if it's a meme coin and it's only at 2.5 cents. Shoot, if it goes to $1, that's wonderful. I will definitely not complain. But it's just a meme coin. Don't put too much meaning to it. There we have it. That's market analysis for today. Monday, November 4th, the day before election. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:15. Take care.